Alright, NT8 on the porch. The dry dock pictures of the damage of the USS Fitzgerald have finally been posted, and I've got them here. And I'm going to spread them out throughout the video. But the main thing is that you need to understand is they had to weld 4 5-foot by 20-foot plates all together, and then they had to put bigger spread beams on the outside of the ship while it was docked in order to pump out the water. Now in these pictures, I want you to look close at them. I'll put the article down in the link so then you can zoom in on the pictures. You'll notice they have a lot of eye holes because divers can't support that weight. So they had to put a crane on it, drop it down, and I guarantee you there are eye holes on the inside so they could chain hoist it in, put it up tight against the ship, the hull, and then the underwater divers could weld it up tight. And yeah, they probably had underwater divers running the chain hoist, or whatever you want to call it. In my Navy, we use chain hoist. Oh, and before we go any further, I don't give a fuck about your whining about car noise. If you don't like it, click off the fucking video. Because I don't really care. If you want the truth to how this shit goes down, you're going to watch me, you're going to listen to me. Because I know. I'm not one of these dipshits that said, oh, the Muslims took over the fucking goddamn, they took over the fucking, they took over the crystal. It was North Korea, and the Fitzgerald was in place to shoot down a missile. It wasn't a missile shot by North Korea in that time frame. So, if you believe all that stupid conspiracy theory bullshit, go fuck yourself. If you want to rag on the crew in the OD, feel free. Rag on it all you want. Because I rag on it, but I'm not focused on that. So anyway, apparently the underwater obvious bow of the crystal created a 20-foot by 20-foot hole. It's probably a little bit less than that because they said 5 patches that were, or 4 patches that were 5 feet in length, or 5 feet in depth and 20 feet long, and they had to put 4 of those on there. So that's 20 feet, right? And then the distance from aft to forward is 20 feet. So you do the math. I'll just call it 20 by 20. You know how big 20 by 20 is? Do you have a 4-car garage? 20 by 20 is bigger than a 4-car garage, because most 4-car garages are they figure a car is 8 feet in length, so you want a 4-car garage, that's 16, and then they're 4 or 5 feet wide. So with working room, you get a 4-car garage size, but it's actually bigger than that, because when you do construction, you think in 12-foot lengths. So 12, 24, 36, 48. $12, $24, $36. So that would be 36 by 48. That's a 4-car garage. So now you got a hole that's bigger than a fucking garage, a 4-car garage. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is how a ship is built. When you lay it down, you've got a hull. You start with the keel, and then off of the keel, you start putting ribs on. So when you're up front on the ship, they may be 1 foot apart. We're going to call those frames. They're maybe 1 foot apart, but the further back you go, they start spreading those frames out. So you get up to maybe 3 feet, maybe 4 feet, and then as it gets to the stern, it starts closing up again, but the stern never gets down to 1 foot. But that's beside the point. So in my interpretation of the pictures, I would say the frames were 2 feet, 3.5 feet distance apart. But you go ahead and look at the picture. Look at the humans down below and let you try to figure it out, what you think the distance is and how big this hole is. So they do the frame repair, but they do it on the outside of the ship. And like I said, look for the eye holes. You can see where the crane lowered it down. They had divers inside that sucked it up against the hull. Then the underwater divers on the outside welded all that bullshit in place. And then they were finally able to pump out, I'd say 95% of the water. And then they counterbalanced by flooding tanks on the other side of the ship to get it evened up. So they brought it into dry dock. And then they raised the dry dock. And if you've never been in a dry dock, you don't know how precarious that situation is or can be. So personally, I think what they're going to do is they're going to fix it up good enough for it to sail itself back to the United States, and then they'll totally overhaul it and fix it. Japan's just going to do I won't call it a temporary fix, but it really is. They'll do a fix good enough for her to sail under her own power back, instead of spending all the money to put it on one of those floating dry docks like they did with the USS Cole and the USS Samuel B. Roberts. Now, the question is the keel bent? We will probably never hear whether the keel is bent or not. But I want you to look at those photos as to what was done and understand what they're actually doing. Like I said, the bow frames are like 1 foot apart. Further back you get, the wider they get, up to like, I think 3 feet. Can't remember exactly. But, yeah. They're doing the right thing. Eventually, she will be fixed. Sell it to Japan? Nah, it's not really an option anymore. They've already put too much money into this. They're going to fix it, send it back to the States. Another destroyer is going to go take her place, and that's going to be that. So, if you want to believe all the conspiracy theories and, oh my God, don't buy into this bullshit. You can tell by what they're doing, and you can tell by the damage, that it's not a bullshit deal. It's an accident. The OOD's going to pay for it. He's going to get kicked out of the Navy. Or, if they don't kick him out, his career is over. The captain, his career is over. The combat systems officer that was in charge down below, his career is over. It's just how it works. Alright, leave your stupid comments down below. There goes another car, and another car. Tell me some more how bad my videos suck, because car noise, really? Don't watch them then. Go ahead, go watch. Go watch Alex Jones. He'll tell you the truth. And if you think that I don't know what's going on, okay, fine. I've been there, I've done it. I wasn't on the ship at that time, but if you think I'm full of shit, don't watch me. Alright, NT8 on the porch. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching.